the responsibility on us to work together, learn from each other, unlearn, relearn as well as. But objective is to ensure that our traditions and our all Sanskrit texts are consistent as far as astronomical references are concerned. So the problem areas, the divergence of conclusions. So I have only selected those are present here. Saroj Balaji could not come. Jayashree Saranathan ji here. M.L. Raja. Dr. M.L. Raja is here. And Dr. Jayashree Saranathan, she is sitting other in and M.M. Manish Pandit ji, I don't know, he will be coming in the afternoon. Yeah, DJ Hari and yes, Chema Hari in the same. Sorry, we just.
Actually, we should come before this.
Yes. I know before that. That was Srinivasa Raghavan probably. Srinivasa Raghavan. From thereafter Ashok Bhatnagar ji is here, is a great scholar. Then Krishna Kumar Ramamurthy is here. And R.N. Iyengar ji, I don't know whether he is coming on online. He is not able to come, but I have taken because his article has been published in Indian History Journal. Then Nilesh Hope, this is the one date we are going to discuss whether how the astronomy is consistent. So the bottom line is Purana Mityeva Nasadhu Sarvam Natapin Kavyam Navamityavagyam Santah Parikshanya Tarad Bhajante. This is the motto, Santah Parikshanya Tarad Bhajante. क्योंकि last 200 years बताया गया कि only Navamityavagyam. Puranam is not sadhu. So we have to say that we have to Santah Parikshanya Tarad Bhajante. That is the motive of our entire conference. So the proposed methodology is, first we have taken independent and absolute astronomical references, because irrespective of the calendrical scheme or whatever it is, whatever the date you say this is the date on which Pandavas left Hastinapura, then you have to prove it that a solar eclipse occurred and that is visible in India, especially Hastinapur and Kurukshetra area. And planetary positions also nothing to do with the calendrical calendar-based arguments. That's why these two we have first selected as the first as an independent and absolute astronomical. Even archaeologists also, in case archaeologically you are saying that this is the date, then you have to prove these things also. In case some other date has been proposed in the tradition, then irrespective of the tradition or archaeology, these two are independent absolute. That's why we are saying mandatory for everyone to prove it or explain it. Probably some in Sanskrit shlokas may be interpreted differently, but alternative interpretation is acceptable, not mistranslations. That's why we want some Sanskrit scholars. Mani sir is also a great scholar, and some Sanskrit scholars are here. So we are going to even discuss the interpretation of the shloka. So then we will take up calendar-based astronomy, because all dates given are based on the Indian calendar. We have to see what calendar is being followed by Mahabharata during Vedavyasa period, what kind of a calendar existed. Thereafter, we will go for the external astronomical references, not in Mahabharata. Other than Mahabharata, there are certain astronomical references. Then we also go to various, other than astronomy, literary and epigraphic evidence. Then we also examine the chronological continuity, because from Mahabharata to till Gupta and post-Gupta, how chronological continuity is very important to establish, not giving a date in isolation. That won't make any sense in a writing of history. So we need to establish chronological continuity. And other evidences like Saraswati, a lot of paleo channels have been mapped. Then Saraswati is very important because in Mahabharata, the Balarama followed entire Saraswati course to complete Tirtha Yatra. So, and he is also talking about Vinashan, how it is possible. Both are how to explain it. First, the geography as well as the dating of, if you can refer to the research papers on which probably the research scholars, their articles in which the Saraswati course has been mapped and dated certain areas. As well as Indus Valley archaeological sites. Is Indus Valley is some kind of an alien and extinct civilization thereafter Indian civilization born, or it is the middle between our own, it is part of Indian civilization. So these things we have to discuss. Of course, archaeologists may have a tough questions for the traditionalists and traditionalists may have a tough questions, but we need to answer it. ट्रेडिशन को असत्य मान करके आर्कियोलॉजी नहीं करनी है, आर्कियोलॉजी को असत्य मान करके परंपरा, तो ये हमारे लिए तो ये मेथोडोलॉजी वी आर फॉलोइंग. इफ एनीवन हैव एनी डिफरेंस ऑफ ओपिनियन और एनीथिंग करेक्टेड सो दैट एट लीस्ट
the methodology based on, like, when we do a thesis for PhD, like I have done my thesis, I have done my PhD in Chronology from BrahMos University in Hyderabad. Like they used to tell us we have to clear a paper on methodology of research, depending upon the topic we have taken, whether it is historical or sociological or anything else. So based on that methodology, I want to say something. Like you have given the methodology here. I slightly differ from that, and I would present some methodology. Let me see whether our distinguished observers are in agreement with that or not, or whether they have a different opinion.
We have a little constraint. We have to wind up by 12. So just tell verbally so that everybody gets a chance to speak.
I want to tell them the methodology.
Slides.
Different methodology I want to say.
No, you say it verbally. Verbally bata dijiye so that people can make notes and then others can also put in their interjections whether they agree with your methodology or not. Please, because today, later on you can show the slides because we have 2 full days. Just say the points verbally, please.
The methodology depends on the kind of data you have, historical or what. Mahabharata date is a historical date. It is a specific year. It's like saying India got independence on 1947. You have to zero in on that year. So like that here also you have to zero in on that exact year. So how to arrive at that particular year? So for that, the data, what kind of data you have in the
instead of alternate methodology, please suggest what is wrong with this, what Chronology is proposing. You say this is wrong, it cannot work. If you have any observation on this methodology, please suggest or let us proceed further.
Once we discuss on this methodology, if we find any faults, then we will correct it. So that is open, but at least we have to start from methodology. So we propose that it appears to be logical. Please.
It's connected.
Yes, that is connected. You can.
There's something that has
Bhaiya, excuse me. Sir.
See, 2 parallel presentation cannot go. If there is any observation or comment, make it on this.
Yes.
Who wants to
So
collect
let us proceed.
on screen?
Just 1 minute.
No, we are not doing another presentation, please, Dr. Jashi, at the moment. Nobody is doing a presentation. Just file first comment on this one. What you don't agree, we make a note. Then let us continue with
The
this.
method and methodology I am going to tell you. For that, what is the basis? Because you have to accept. So that I am showing you the basis, who are the authors I have taken up.
No, you just tell us what is wrong with his methodology.
Okay. They say according to them, the method is an ordered steps. The arrangement, that you have the data and you have to arrange them, maybe in some other order. For example, the nimittas, that is the astronomical references are given as nimittas by Krishna in his topic Karna. And later, Vyasa is talking about the kind of astronomical references as nimitta to Dhritarashtra. But when you are combining, when you are arranging the data, you find that some of them are going unconnected, some of them are coming backward. So you have to first arrange the data. So the method is exactly.
That we will
Yeah,
come in the calendar astronomy.
yeah. So for that I have taken the books of Mr. Kothari and Ghosh. Right. And then I am coming back to the exact methodology which I am using from their book on astronomical data, historical data. They say don't pick and fit. Most of us, what we do, we pick up an astronomy reference from Mahabharata, and then we say, yeah, for example, Archaeology has done like that. And Saturn and Mars are told in the same context. Then when Saturn and Mars are there in the kind of houses, how many times they appear? Whether they came along with the 3000 BC or not. One example is that.
See, that will come when we come on a planetary positions, whether they are properly put or not, which he has put in his methodology. Let him come to that point and then see whether they are put proper or
Because
not.
there is a divergence of dates.
Divergence,
Irrespective
that's
of the date, let us see what is the
Yeah.
dates for the eclipses,
Yeah.
dates for the planetary. We will simulate and find out whether it is there or not.
Chronology has, the late Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Chronology had Mars in exaltation and Saturn in exaltation. Sri Rama also had Mars in exaltation and Saturn in exaltation.
Ma'am, we are not discussing details, we are discussing the
What I'm
methodology,
saying is,
please.
pick and fit is not the method given by Kothari and Ghosh. They say you have to go by some
Dr. Jayashree, please,
Jayashree.
Jayashree, there is, just
I'm
we are
giving the method here. I'm giving the method.
No, no, so let us first discuss the method he's done,
Yes.
go through the whole thing and then you can give that.
But you have a date, no? Mahabharata, you have a date.
Opinion.
No, no, you have, we are talking about.
Because in for historical dating, Western type of historical method are.
Madam, you have given your opinion that you don't agree, but Vedvi Rajaji is saying, okay, fine, we accept it, let him say, and when he comes on his date,
Okay.
whatever objection you have, raise it there.
Yeah,
This is not fitting.
I have given.
Okay, we cannot have parallel running sessions by several installments.
What I am saying, irrespective of anything, everybody has a Mahabharata date. You also propose one date. Okay, before the date, 13 years, 6
I think we should not start a Mahabharata during the Shastra.
So we will just start the, first we follow it, then we will come to this.
Okay, anyway, I wanted to point out that there is a Western methodology of primary and secondary evidences, and the Vedic.
No, we are not going by anything Western, please, we are creating everything Indianized.
Indianized, that is why I'm giving you.
Can I just
No, no,
suggest so
we
that
have to take along our archaeologists also.
Yeah.
They
All
want
this
first,
will be covered in
you
this.
are giving date in
This
the,
will be covered.
our Julian
Please
calendar and
continue,
the
Vedvi,
Gregorian
please
calendar.
continue, Jayashree ji, please have patience, we
Yes.
will come to, we will come to.
We will, in midway, we will decide if it is completely illogical, then we will,
Yeah.
so please start the previous the presentation. So,
You mean Tithi Shashtrarth.
Tithi Shashtrarth. Not this one.
First of all,
No, no, I-
you gave one format for Tithi Shashtrarth.
No, I made my slide, where it-
Eclipses, that's what, then that particular Tithi Shashtrarth
Yes.
PPT you have given, in the same order I am showing. The same order.
Yeah, so, I will first I'll flash, then I will ask everyone. Some people may not agree, maybe if it is not an issue, let us have it. So first, the first eclipse. This is the reference when Pandavas lost in Akshadyuta. Then they have to leave the Hastinapur Vanvasa. So during that time, the reference what is given in Mahabharata, Asinishtanako Ghoda Nirghatascha Mahanabu, Divolkashchapatan Gora, Rahushcharkam Upagrasat. Rahu Arkam Upagrasat. तो कुछ भी ट्रांसलेशन आप कर लीजिए, it is the reference of a solar eclipse. Okay, I hope all agree with you also agree.
Yeah, I am not agreeing,
Huh.
because the context, number two, if they have started on an that is solar eclipse, it means it was an Amavasya.
Yes, Amavasya.
So they should have returned on an Amavasya. Did they return on an Amavasya?
No, that we will discuss. That we will discuss.
No, no, when
But
you are looking at the exit point, it will show that they did not return on an Amavasya, but earlier than that. That means this is not about.
Return date we will discuss. First,
We will
this is
discuss
saying
that
when
when
they
If they
left.
left on an
When they
Amavasya,
left.
the logic is if they left on an Amavasya, they must have returned on an Amavasya after 30th, if you agree or not.
No, that we will
We
next
will
day.
discuss, I am asking, in that context only I am saying, they did not return on an Amavasya. So because they did not start on an Amavasya. That's what I am coming to say.
No, that was
Here
the
I am
dispute.
saying-
What you said, no, please.
We are discussing the points in this.
I'm not agreeing.
No, you may not, just say I
No,
don't
let
agree
us
with
start
you.
from here.
Why
Is
you
the
don't
solar
agree?
eclipse
Give a
of
chance.
this?
Why? Because if you start giving a whole presentation now, nobody else will get a chance. You don't agree. Fine, you don't agree. We are making, just say 1, 2,
मैं
3
ये कह रहा
and
हूँ
this
जब
is this.
वनवास के लिए हम सब चले थे हस्तिनापुर से फर्स्ट डे उस दिन सूर्य ग्रहण हुआ था तो इसका मतलब एक अमावस्या के दिन क्योंकि वो 13 वर्ष के लिए जा रहे थे अमावस्या के रात को वो निकल रहे थे तो तब सूर्य अमावस्या के दिन तो उस दिन सूर्य ग्रहण हुआ
इस श्लोक को एक्सप्लेन करिए
नहीं इतना संस्कृत तो आप लोगों को आना चाहिए ना
मान लीजिए नहीं आती तो क्या करें?
आसित आसित मतलब था इष्टानको घोरो एक कठिन परिस्थिति थी दीर्घातश्च महान अभूत दिवा उनका दिन में भी कुछ उनका गिरने के कुछ उनको दिखे राहु ने सूर्य को ग्रसन वो सूर्य ग्रहण ये क्या है
The word Apurvani is there.
नहीं ये ना पूरा नहीं करता
ये उपाय सब ऐसा जो है ये सामीप्य हो रहा है
क्या
ये जो राहु जो है अर्थ के पास जा रहा है
हाँ, तो शामिल क्या होता है कंजंक्शन ही तो होता है राहु सूर्य वो कंजंक्शन है ना
ग्रसत जब कहेगा तब यह ग्रहण लगेगा उपाग्रसत तब समीप में जा रहा है वो ग्रहण की स्थिति बनेगी नहीं सामीप्य बन रहा है वहाँ पर
जो है सूर्य के पास हर तीस
वहाँ
दिन
जब
में
तिथि क्षय में जाएंगे तिथि क्षय में अगर हम जाएंगे तो वह सामीप्य हो रहा है वहाँ पर जो है वो ग्रहण की स्थिति मुझे तो नहीं दिख रही अग्रसत होगा तब ग्रहण बनेगा ग्रहण के ठीक आसपास की स्थिति है वो
की स्थिति का तो क्या मतलब
नहीं जैसे ग्रहण का एक ग्रहण कल लगने वाला है और आज जो है अर्धसमीप में जा रहा है वो
इससे महान उधर होती जा वो एवरी 27 डेज
उनका बात तो
हर अमावस्या के दिन चंद्र और सूर्य का कंजंक्शन होता है पास में ही आता है वो ऐसा कौन सी घटना है कि जो बताने लायक है तो वो सूर्य ग्रहण है
अग्रसर क्रियापद का प्रयोग किया गया है अग्रसर
उप
क्रियापद
के साथ लगा है ना
उप के साथ है
सामीप्य बना रहा है
लेकिन
अग्रसत नहीं है वो
अग्रसत उपाग्रसत में उपाग्रसत पद प्रयोग है
हाँ।
अग्रसत क्रियापद का भूतकालिक क्रिया के लिए प्रयोग होता है
नहीं हर अमावस्या को
हाँ,
उपग्रहण
ग्रहण
होता
किया,
है अगर ऐसा कहोगे ग्रसन और उपस्थिति दोनों अलग अलग चीजें ग्रस मतलब ग्रहण है
अरे वो सामीप्य में है
तो उपागमक क्यों नहीं उपागमक क्यों नहीं उपाग्रसत क्यों कहा उपागमक क्यों नहीं कहा उपाग्रसत क्यों कहा मतलब ग्रहण होगा ग्रस का मतलब ग्रहण ही है ग्रहण ही है तो इसको नहीं तो anyone has any other objection
Any few, maybe after 1 month, retaining also after 1 month, yes, not exactly on the same day,
even leaving yes
and every year there will be
no problem but we have to show that that was visible in not every month in the not
every year,
every year but
there will be
no every year will not be visible in India not visible in India Hastinapur not everywhere Surya Grahana is relevant
maybe that sometimes we have it's not visible in India, but we are following. But like that, so it is not just I also
I agree that this refers to either partial eclipse or anything, but the time, that is, I mentioned. This is in 15th year. 15th year before the war.
नहीं वो हम चेक करेंगे
Yes.
पहले डेट ले लेते हैं सबका
Yes.
तो सबका डेट लेके फिर उसको हम लोग तो इसका जैसे एक ये है एक एक करके आपको ये शांति पर्व का है ये दूसरा है ये है महाभारत युद्ध से पहले मैंने कुरुक्षेत्र वार से पहले एक सूर्य चंद्र दोनों का एक पेयर ऑफ इक्लिप्स हुआ है चतुर्दशीं पंचदशीं भूतपूर्वां च षोडशीं इमां तु नाभिजानामि अमावास्यां त्रयोदशीं। ये वस्तुतः उस परिस्थिति को कहा जा रहा है जहाँ 14 दिन मैंने 14 दिन का पक्ष
13 दिन का पक्ष
नहीं 13 दिन में पक्ष 13 दिन में
संभव नहीं है, लेकिन इसमें संभव
नहीं होता है, लेकिन 13 days 23 आवर्स लेस देन 14 डेज जो गणना है लेस देन 14 डेज में ही जो है एक पक्ष
ग्रहण हो गया,
पूर्णिमा से लेकर अमावस्या तक का एक समाप्ति होगी। तो अपर्वणि ग्रहावे, तो अपर्वणि इसलिए कहा जाता है अगर 15 दिन नहीं होने पर उसको अपर्व कहा जाता है। राहुश्चाग्रह का आदित्यम अपर्वणि, तो आपको क्या करना है, तो जो पेयर ऑफ इक्लिप्स में दी ऑर्डर है, फर्स्ट ल्यूनर इक्लिप्स फॉलोड बाय सोलर इक्लिप्स। इफ यू आर प्रूविंग सोलर इक्लिप्स फॉलोड बाय ल्यूनर इक्लिप्स कैन नॉट बी एक्सेप्टेड, बट स्टिल वी कैन कंसीडर। कई बार संधि करने में इधर-उधर भी रख सकते हैं अगर ये भी अगर कहना चाहे, लेकिन बेस्ट सिचुएशन ये होना चाहिए कि ल्यूनर इक्लिप्स फॉलोड बाय सोलर इक्लिप्स।
I don't accept because the verse talks about periodicity, not solar day. That is 13-day Amavasya would happen within 13 solar days. It's possible, but it happens every 400 years. Here, Vyasa says, "Na abhijnanami." I have never heard. Whatever God.
No. You get Trayodha because it happens very rarely. Nobody has seen their lifetime. It takes 5 months because yes, Balakrishna.
She refers to the Tithi here.
Tithi.
And because of that, only I have an evidence from the guidebook of Panchanga. No, it's not written by anybody, but it is all in the palm instructions, which is now written in the book where it says this assured in the Bodhayana Amavasya concept. Because the Tithi had, that is Amavasya had come earlier than normal on a Triyodashi day, on a Pradosha day, and people have started, that is there is a loss of Tithi due to some reason, some cosmic reason. The loss of Tithi was immortalized into memory by Bodhayana.
What I am saying is that lunar eclipse followed by solar eclipse. This is the same.
Both are in Triyodashi Tithi, not in solar.
Both cannot happen one day. Both
Both
cannot happen one day.
No, Tithi is okay. Better.
Tithi is lunar Tithi. Lunar Tithi is different from solar day. It is not Triyodashi Divasa.
18 days.
Amavasya means
So there is no reference to eclipse in this or in the next one also. Or next one is also about a Paurnami happening on the 13th Tithi itself. So there is a loss of Tithi in both cases.
okay.
So I don't agree. I don't agree with that.
But this lunar eclipse followed by solar eclipse.
It's not an eclipse, so that's what I am saying.
It is not an eclipse.
It talks about Tithi and not about days.
no
And
problem.
in the Tithi, the eclipse cannot happen. It is talking about an earlier than normal Amavasya and Paurnami.
Chandra Surya Ubhau Grastau Ekamase Trayodashim Aparvani Graha.
Dual case. Wow, dual case. Where is the reference to Rahu? Where is
Ekamase.
Mahagrapha is there or any Rahu is there? Everything is in dual case. Ekamase.
Rahu is not a science. Rahu is just a kind of
Some reference should be there for Rahu. Is there
But
any
it says Grasto.
Grasto.
So when directly eclipse is being
Chandra and
mentioned.
Surya Grastau. Chandra and Surya, they why in everything in dual case.
In 1 month,
In 1 month.
not 1 day.
Ekamase.
Okay. The month starts, in Shukra month
Pair of
starts
eclipses.
Shukra Pratipat, that is after Amavasya. So this one is about the Amavasya earlier, then next another Amavasya comes.
One more thing, because the
Waxing phase.
Yes.
Next one is waxing
Month is
phase.
not
It
given.
is the
We
solar
must
month. What we
have
are talking is the
it
solar
within
month. In the
less
Ekavasa
than 1 year of the
solar month,
Mahabharata, whatever the date you are.
13th Tithi Amavasya has happened, and
We have to
13th
prove that
Tithi
this pair of
Paurnami has
eclipse
happened.
was visible.
That's what has been mentioned there. So if there is no reference to solar eclipse.
Dr. Jayashree, you do not agree that that is an eclipse. We have noted your point. We have noted your point. You don't agree it was an eclipse. It was just mention of a Tithi.
Yeah.
These scholars are saying it was a grand. We have noted all points.
Okay.
So now let's move to the next point.
Next is, this is the another solar eclipse in the 35th year after Mahabharata war, because it is there in Kshatriyashit Pata Samprapte, when 36th year has just begun. Kauravanandana Dadarsha Viparitani Nimittani Yudhishthira. Dadarsha is in lit lakara parokshe bhute. दर्शो वो हो चुका है, माने कि 35th 36th में नहीं हुआ है, 35th में हुआ। ठीक है। एवं पश्यन् ऋषिकेशः संप्राप्तं कालपर्यन्तं निधनं वासुदेवस्य, ये भी एक जगह 36th ईयर जब विजन हुआ तब श्री कृष्ण जी का निधन हो गया है।
इसमें सर
त्रयोदश्याम अमावास्याम तान् दृष्ट्वा प्राब्रवीदिदं चतुर्दशी पंचदशी कृतेयं राहुणा पुनः तदा च भरते युद्धे प्राप्ताचार्य क्षयाय नः। सो अगेन एक लेस देन 14 डेज का एक सोलर इक्लिप्स की बात कर रहे हैं, जब 35th ईयर में 36th ईयर के प्राप्त होने से पहले ही देख चुके हैं। ये है थर्ड। तो हमारे पास अभी 3 पेयर इक्लिप्सेस है। एक हम अगर 0 ईयर मान लेते हैं, महाभारत का जो कुरुक्षेत्र युद्ध का अगर हम 0 मानकर चले तो उससे पहले हमको लेस देन 14 इयर्स में ही वनवास होना चाहिए, क्योंकि वनवास 13th ईयर समाप्त हुआ नहीं, इसको लेके बहुत वाद विवाद हुआ। उसके बाद मुझे नहीं लगता 1-1.5 साल युद्ध के लिए प्रतीक्षा है, मैक्सिमम 6 to 8 मंथ्स का ही टाइम था। 13 इयर्स 6 to 8 मंथ्स और 10 मंथ्स मैक्सिमम। लेस देन 14 इयर्स में आपको सोलर इक्लिप्स, देर आफ्टर महाभारत के कुरुक्षेत्र युद्ध के बिल्कुल 8-10 महीने या लेस देन 1 ईयर में आपको पहला इक्लिप्स दिखाना पड़ेगा, और महाभारत युद्ध के बाद 35th ईयर में आपको एक सोलर इक्लिप्स आपको देना। ये पैटर्न आपको एस्टैब्लिश करना है अगर किसी डेट को अगर हम करते हैं तो।
I have a question on this. You see, the translation says of this Chaturdashi, Panchadashi Kriti. The 14th lunation has been made the 15th by Rahu once more. Okay. Such a day had happened at the time of the great battle of Bharatiya. Now, 14th lunation has been made 15th by Rahu. It only mentions the variation in the length of lunation, or it never says the eclipse has occurred. Rahu doesn't mean eclipse. The sun passes Rahu twice in a year and moon once in every month. But Rahu was very well known among the 9 nakshatras.
वो भी करें भारतीय युद्ध है, जब भारत युद्ध हो रहा था मतलब कुरुक्षेत्र युद्ध
Point of view. And that keeps varying because of gravitational attraction. Since at that time they were only dealing with the mean periods and all, it was impossible to predict accurately the eclipses. So they knew where the Rahu was and where moon and sun would be passing together close to that, there would be an eclipse. But it may not happen. And in fact, in that year, 36th year actually, 36th year, there is an eclipse of the same Saros series that happened during war.
I can show you नीलकंठ आचार्य का जो टीका है, उसमें भी solar eclipse
most of them mention this
परंपरा है, और Ring of AC जो translation है, ये solar eclipse ही आता है।
but the moment
एक हम मान लेते हैं कि आप उसका मतभेद है, वो हम इसका सारे में लिखेंगे।
But
we'll make a note.
I feel that this does not refer to an eclipse, this last one. And there is an eclipse which has same member of same Saros series, which has similarities with the eclipse that occurred during the war, but it was not visible in India.
In my opinion, the first part of what Krishna says is, having seen the Triyodashi Amavasya, some anomaly was there. And there is another anomaly also had happened on, that is what the Ravana Puna, when Duryodhana was killed. On that day there was a solar eclipse. It was an extended, it happened in an extended way. That's what is meant by Chaturdashi, Panchadashi, Triyodhana. Because when you are looking at the simulations, it shows. So that extended stiti only is mentioned in Bharatiya.
No, we will go with the yes no one. It means you think that it's not a solar eclipse reference.
The second part of it, yes, there was the Chaturdashi Tithi, Panchadashi Tithi, Kritelam, Rahuna Puna happened in the last day of the war during the death of Duryodhana. That was somewhat repeated on the 36th year during the time of exit of Krishna. So that
Just whether that's a solar eclipse or not.
Just the first two lines recalls the Triyodashi Amavasya because of the anomaly. And there is another anomaly during Duryodhana's death. That is an extended Tithi. Now again an extended Tithi.
That's why we are only to absolute means we have to have a Boolean logic. Yes, no. Whether it's a solar eclipse, no.
It's a solar eclipse is mentioned as solar eclipse on the
samprapte dadarsha. Dadarsha is not adyatana bhuta, paroksha bhuta. It means prior to the 35th. 35th. Even we will accept you want 36th year. We will say that 35th or 36th year.
36th year there was a solar eclipse. On the 19th, it was during the
But
war.
Sri Krishna Nidhanam in the beginning of the year because Yuga began. So it has to be Chaitra Shukla Pratipada.
Just say yes or no, na, then we will later on.
Because Chaitra Shukla Pratipada.
So she has said no, so let's get into the next. She does not agree that there was a.
So there is another reference, but it's just a production during the Mahabharata references when Bhishma, not in the Bhishma Parva, Vyasa and Dhritarashtra conversation.
There was an extended period.
Somasya Lakshya Lakshma Vyavrittam. They say something, the observation of the moon. It appeared that Rahu Arkam Upeshate, probably in future, Rahu Arkam Upeshate. It will happen. But whether it is going to visible in India or not, that is not sure. But there is just a prediction of a solar eclipse has been mentioned based on the observation of the moon. This is the
Yes, on that point I agree. There was an eclipse not visible in India. It was about 120
but
degrees.
after war it occurred because that we have based on the dates we have to.
Sir, sorry to interfere, but I request all the dignitaries, please, when they speak, open the mic and after that, please close the mic because there were only 2 mics that we used at a time, then only.
The recording is happening, you know, so the recording gets disturbed.
Then
See, actually, this discussion right now is on the methodology, and you are very nicely.
what I am saying, all I am listing out so that I give
Very nicely you
everyone
listed
to
out.
please.
Let's complete the listing first.
So the listing is very nice. All I'm saying is maybe I think we should first add one point about the understanding of the interpretations for those points. So that when each of them present on the solar eclipse, you can ratify and say yes, because that is where all the.
But there is a way, always what happens, how majority translates. Are there 1 or 2 aberrations?
Exactly.
Which translation may be too much Dravida Pranayama. I don't want to use the popular word, but that we will see. Some are maybe a very another insights.
But the listing is very nicely distilled. It clears out and brings
So
in the steps.
what happens, a pattern emerges, that everyone has to follow that pattern to improve it in cases. And the last one I say, this is the last one, generally people are, this alakshya prabhaya hina paurnamasim cha kartikim chandro bhut agnivarnascha samavarne nahastare. So generally some people are translate it as a some lunar eclipse occurred just before Kurukshetra war, Kartika Purnima. What he saying, alakshya prabhaya hina, a dull moon on Kartika Purnima. चंद्रो भूत अग्निवर्ण अग्निवर्ण नहीं होता है या तो अग्निवर्ण समवर्णे नभस्थले नभस्थल आल्सो सेम अग्निवर्ण इट मींस जस्ट सनसेट के बाद जो अरुणिमा होती है उसी कलर का चांद है इट इज एक्चुअली हार्वेस्ट मून भी हो सकता है जिसका रेफरेंस है बट कहीं पर भी चंद्र ग्रहण की बात इसके अंदर कहीं नहीं गई है लेकिन कई लोग ट्रांसलेट करते हैं तो इस पर क्या
I will give explanation on my terms.
ओके
Yeah, according to me, there is a most beautiful description of a total lunar eclipse. If you have seen one, not only does the moon turn copperish hue, but also the surroundings, as they say.
How come moon eclipse में समवर्णे नभस्थले? Can you accept? How can moon and the nabhasthala can have a same?
Yes, because that glow that is coming from moon.
No, total eclipse, then it is the total black.
No, you have not watched total lunar eclipse. What happens? I'll tell
No,
you.
there are 2 different total lunar. One is the just complete total lunar.
Complete
Then
total.
penumbra.
I'm talking about total. See what happens. Earth.
You can't see moon at all. How can we?
No, you can. You can see as a copperish color.
Then that's a penumbral eclipse.
No.
Okay.
See, Earth's atmosphere scatters light, and that scattered light, red portion of that light,
Red and Agnivarna both.
the red portion of that light falls on the moon, So you can still see during total eclipse that moon is there as a faint glow of. So this is a beautiful. I have seen so many. I have photographed so many eclipses.
Another thing is, in the thing, it mentioned in the same month, Chandra and Surya undergo Grasta. Other sloka you know. So in this within 13 Tidis, first Chandra, he is telling what is correct.
This it means just
This
before
sloka may mean, may not mean, but there is lunar eclipse as per that sloka. Chandra Aditya Grasto. That means Ekamasi Trayodasi. That shows that
no
there
date
is
is
lunar
mentioned.
eclipse.
No date mentioned there. Date is not mentioned. Chandra Surya Ubhau Grasto. Ekamasi. The month
That
is
means
not
1 year
mentioned.
before.
No. Within the, just before Mahabharata.
During Dhritarashtra and Vyasa,
Less than 1 year
Vyasa
after
meeting
Mahabharata.
only it is happened. It is mentioned. So that means that month.
No, this one refers specifically to an eclipse of Kartik Purnima.
No,
If you add that Gosloka, it will mean that there is a lunar eclipse followed by Amavasya solar eclipse.
everywhere we see everywhere Grasto, Upagrasat, Rahuna, there is no mention of
Grasta means
anything.
what? Grasta, Rahu Grasta. See, solar eclipse in Tamil Punjabi means Rahu Grasta, Surya Grasta. Like Rahu Grasta, Ketu Grasta. Grasta means it is eclipsing. It is attracting like that.
Okay, these are the 5 references I have listed out. This is the last one where there is a difference of opinion. This one.
One point I just want to add on that. Very quickly. Eclipse never occurs by itself. There is always a solar eclipse followed by lunar eclipse. And if you agree that there was a solar eclipse before, which I think you did, then there was a lunar eclipse either after that, in the next or before that. So you have to accept it as a pair, and this is an example that we are telling that pair of eclipses. We cannot just say, well,
No, there is a difference. Here he is just talking the Kartika Purnima before Mahabharata. This has been mentioned as a many listing out like planetary positions, all those especially जिन्हें वो अपशकुन कहना चाह रहे हैं उनको list out किया. So these many events occurred like Vakranu Kritva. It means it's not on the same day when Mahabharata was written. It is before the Mahabharata was written. Before the means what? How much period we have to take it? And think less than 1 year. That is the broad. Less than 1 year you have to prove all those apashakunas in case specific date is not given. If specific date is given, then we have to specific tithi has to be matched.
Yeah, my point is if someone says there is an eclipse, they have to show that there was another eclipse before or after. You cannot just have one eclipse by isolation. So that is
So this
That's okay. Now we have to
This
explain one
parameter
by
has
one.
to be qualified by showing that there was another solar eclipse. That is what you want to say. Please
Do
note
you
that.
agree anything that solar eclipse occurred before what? 2-3 days before?
No.
No solar
Nowhere
eclipse.
it is mentioned. It is only Saptamat Chapa Divasat Amavasya
Okay,
Bhavishyati.
Karna told Rahu is fastly approaching sun. What is that?
That means it will happen.
It will happen, and it happened actually, but
It will happen.
again,
It
not
will happen how many? 6 months after.
No.
Karna, why is it tell 6 months after Graha at that point when Krishna meets? He told that very soon it is approaching, fastly approaching. When fastly approaching means within 10 days or 5 days. It doesn't mean, see, solar eclipse and lunar eclipse repeat only in 6 months.
What? No.
So 6 months after that, after war, it cannot mention by, you please understand letter and spirit. He cannot mention 6 months after happening up to Krishna at the time when he meets. So definitely means
He's talking about-
before war there is a solar eclipse, and in that sloka within a month, Ekamasim, Triyodisim, Sandra Aditya. First he mentioned Sandra, then only Aditya. In that order Vyasa mentioned first Chandra Karagana, then that's why he would have mentioned Aditya Chandra. He mentioned Chandra Aditya. No, that means
I can just
please,
throw some light on
I
it.
complete.
See, what you are saying, that was on the day the war was to begin, on that Amavasya. We'll discuss the beginning separately. Now that Amavasya, you say that solar eclipse should occur. Yes, there was a solar eclipse, although he did not mention eclipse is going to occur, he says that Rahu approaching fast. So there is an eclipse, according to my finding, which was again not visible in India. So this lunar eclipse followed by a solar eclipse, and then, so that is the sequence. And that pair of 13-day difference, that is during the past few months.
So now we finish this eclipses. So let us start one by one to show the eclipses visibility in India also. So let us start. If you want, I'll start first. This, so that we can do the presentation. We can.
So basically, whatever shlokas he's
किसी बात को तो हम एक है कि एक सामान्य जो संस्कृत के लिए जो अनुवाद होता है उसके आधार पर पहले का उसके बाद देखेंगे कि कहाँ कहाँ क्या मतलब वो है तो फिर बताइए आपसे केवल उत्तर की करेंगे तो खत्म नहीं होगा तो एक सामान्य जो संस्कृत जितने भी लोग जानते हैं एक टाइम ऑफ बेसिक ट्रांसलेशन होता है सिंपल अन्वय करके संस्कृत वाले बैठे हैं सबको पता है समझ में आता है तो ये जो है ना पहला जो इसका ये अर्थ होता है so this one this Asin Ishtanako Guru so as per my assessment 25th October 3162 BC was the Mahabharata war. Then 13 years before, that is 25th February 3175 BC, it was a Falgun Amavasya. That means they just beginning of the Chaitra month. They started from Hastinapura Vanavasa. So Vanavasa started on 25th February 3175 BC, and after 13 years, so it ended somewhere in the March 3162 BC. Thereafter, 6 to 7, 8 months, the Mahabharata, Kurukshetra war began. So this is the first solar eclipse. This is the solar eclipse followed by lunar eclipse followed by solar eclipse in less than 14 days before the Mahabharata war. The Kurukshetra war took place 25th October 3162 BC. So lunar eclipse was 21st December 3163, then the solar eclipse on the 4th January. If we analyze the exact thithis to come out of this Trayodashi, so 21st December is the lunar eclipse, that is the Purnima. Then we can work out the Pratipada, Dvitiya, Tritiya, Chaturthi, Panchami, Shashti, Saptami, Ashtami, Navami. 4th was just Chaturdashi. Chaturdashi not yet completed the solar eclipse. It is actually early morning on the 4th January 3162 BC. Before completion of the Chaturdashi Tithi, this pair of eclipse occurred 8 to, it means almost 9 to 10 months before the Mahabharata, Kurukshetra. Then this is the third annular solar eclipse around Trayodashi Amavasya, less than 14 days. 35th is the year, if we count from the Mahabharata year, 3162. 3128, 3127 BCE was the 35th year, and before the beginning of the 36th year, this is the solar eclipse on 12th August 3128 BCE, and this is as Balakrishna has proven. As per his research, 3128 is actually 13th Amavasya. He has listed out, actually what he has done, he did 3300 BC to 700 BC. He has taken how many pairs of eclipses occurred? 672 pairs. Then how many actually visible at Kurukshetra and Hastinapura? Those are only 32 pairs. But out of which only 6 are visible. Okay. Less than 14 days. Then visibility, both ways he has done. Total occurrence, and within 14 days, 32 pairs. Out of 32, only 6 are visible. Almost 6 to. So that's why it is the rarest. It takes probably takes 500 to 600 years to reoccur. Such Trayodashi Amavasya are less than 14 days in the one paksha. So this 3128 also proven by the scientific studies by the Balakrishna also, that was the Trayodashi Amavasya solar eclipse. Then after 25th October is the 3162 BC Mahabharata war. Then a partial solar eclipse occurred on after 1 month, but it was not visible in India. It is just a prediction. Somasya Lakshma Vyavrittam. They have just observed during the Purnima time or something. Sometimes people can have a guesswork, some kind of a experience of observations. Based on the what you say that somewhere very close to within some period the solar eclipse is going to happen. So this happened. Means somewhere 10 days later, 10-12 days later, Mahabharata, Kurukshetra. Then this one I am saying it is in a harvest moon, it's not a Kritika, because the harvest moon, if you see, can appear dull or reddish due to atmospheric effects as its light travels to more of the Earth's atmosphere when it's on the horizon. And harvest moon हमेशा जो है very close to autumnal equinox के साथ होता है. That's why Kartika Purnamasi was very close to autumnal equinox that time. This occurred 18th October and this harvest moon 10-11 within 6 days. It means very close to the autumnal equinox. This is the harvest moon, and that's why Samavarne Nabhastale you can explain. Otherwise, I don't think any lunar eclipse time you can express how this Samavarne Nabhastale has any. If it is eclipse, then there should have been mentioned Raktavarna, not Agnivarna. Agnivarna is Arunima. I don't think any lunar eclipse will look the Aruna color when it occurring as an eclipse. Eclipse has to do it. But harvest moon will be always red. That's why they are saying Alakshya Prabhava Prabhaya Hina.
I think the fundamental difference between Achar's date and this day is in this Kartik Purnima eclipse or harvest moon. Because I think if this is resolved, I think that will sort out the difference between 3066 and this date.
But it is not exactly anyone having a simple Sanskrit. There is no need to say it is. If it is eclipse, you would have been saying Agrasat or something, Rahu reference or Surya Chandra Grahana or something. He simply Samavarne Nabhastale also the word says that it is not an eclipse. That's why differ it.
One point I would like to say, I mean by definition, harvest moon is occurring after the monsoon season, and it is when the moon is closest to the earth, that is passing near its perigee, and then the moon is the brightest during the whole year. So this definition that it becomes reddish.
No, that is super moon. This is the harvest moon.
The harvest moon.
Harvest moon occurs when it is very close to autumnal equinox.
Autumnal equinox, yes, but
from India you won't see harvest moon. From India, it's from northern latitudes, not from India.
No, this in the North India it is possible.
I have seen personally when I got to Boston. Harvest moon will be so much big. You'll
because
never
it is closest.
This is sharp more, yeah.
North
This is
India.
pale in color, white in color. Pale in color and white in color.
That is Western observation. Indian observation has been mentioned
It is not
here.
harvest moon.
But
It is not mentioned, it is harvest moon. We are giving the word. It's not our.
Chandro Rasat kar sakte hai. Why the Chandro Bhud Agni Varna?
that is the way they have written down.
No, that is not the way. We can have both. That's why I am not rejecting that it is not an issue. But I am saying this is the one where we have interpreted. But there is a valid both ways interpretation. So this way I am completing all eclipse related issues. So now thereafter the series
अच्छा इसका अर्थ ये नहीं होता
इसकी टाइमिंग क्या है?
ये जो आप इस लोग कार्ड लगा रहे हैं पूरे चंद्रमा पर कोई चीज आ जाए और वो पूरा कवर कर दे ये वो सुनिए ना और किनारे किनारे के पोर्शन से उसकी रेंज निकल रही हो और वो जो रेंज निकल रही हो वो आपकी बर्न की हो ये तो आप बिल्कुल मून दिखा रहे हैं ऐसा मून होता है
तो एक चीज जरा समझाना चाहता हूँ, एक मिनट सर, क्या इसकी टाइमिंग सायंकाल की है? ये जो ग्रहण लगा है सायंकाल अगर आएगा तो चंद्रमा जब उग रहा होगा उस समय वो अग्निवर्ण का होगा, क्योंकि जब चंद्रमा उगता है तो रेडिश होता है, फिर उसके बाद ग्रहण लगा होगा और उस समय सायंकाल में सूर्य की किरणें भी रेडिश स्काई में फैली हुई हैं, और संध्या काल का यह जो अगर घटित अगर हो रहा है तो ये सत्य है। जो अर्थ यही सत्य है कि गोधूली संध्या काल में जो सूर्यास्त जब हमारा आधा सूर्य जो डूब चुका होता है उससे लगभग जो 48 मिनट तक का समय जो होता है संध्या काल होता है, उस समय अगर यह घटित हो रहा है तो ये सत्य है। टाइम अगर वही है
ग्रहण हुआ नहीं हुआ
तो जो आप कह रहे हैं ये
रेफरेंस में वो इंटरप्रिटेशनल
इसमें जो डिस्क्रिप्शन बिल्कुल टोटल ल्यूनर इक्लिप्स का अगर आपने देखा है कभी टोटल ल्यूनर इक्लिप्स, then you can straight away say that
all presentations are over. Then it is when all will present, then we will present this which meets this Indian condition which
and two people at a time, because otherwise we will get used to
table first to everybody, so that we
because 13-year Vanvasa and Kurukshetra were happened after Vanvasa 6 months, less than 14 years. So that children eclipse. Then before as well as after 35th year of the Mahabharata. These things without the condition. As well as we have to show this Inauguration.
you said it very nicely.
During the war, there is no reference of any they are saying already past, recent approach means will occur after Mahabharata, because Mahabharata depends on started on Amavasya, ended on Margarisha, Vidya, after the second 12 days there is a so it is only a prediction, it is not an observation. Prediction.
okay, may I begin?
Please, quickly 10 minutes.
Yes. The first part I will take hardly 2-3 minutes, and then maybe some discussion, and then I can. So we got this list of different dates, all from astronomical data. Now this is a bunch. It's like a bouquet of why it is so. Same data, same software people have used. There's nothing, nobody has done any manual calculation, most of them are same software. Then why should the date be different? That only means that there is some problem in understanding of astronomy. That is, a lot of studies have been made in the past right from the time of Aryabhat to Varamir and then later these English gentlemen, Burgess, Jacobi, and then Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Balkrishna Dikshit, Sen Gupta, and recently Abhyankar and all, on determining the time of texts or the particular observations by using astronomical techniques, modern techniques. Now the technique is very scientific, but it can be misleading because of the following reasons. That most of these events in astronomy, they are cyclic in nature. And if you pick scantily, randomly, some events and then try to match it, you will always find a match because these events are cyclic. Then as you go deep into past, the accuracy of the methods, our equations, our software, everything reduces and the uncertainty becomes larger and larger. So many events that are shown by our software to be occurring may not be actually occurring. And then interpolations are not ruled out because we find different slopes.
Astronomy is also interpolation.
No, interpolation in Mahabharata.
Interpolation means some new akhyana that have been introduced.
Yes, yes.
But somebody has not introduced some solar eclipse.
Exactly,
Which is not observed
that's
by
what I'm
us.
saying. That different recensions of
No,
Mahabharata.
interpolation, then internal consistency we are questioning.
No, I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. And then there are.
Discuss the solar eclipses, please, Dr. Bhatta.
And no, I'm coming to that. Just 2 minutes, let me come to this one. And then personal, otherwise you will never be able to resolve this bouquet of flowers. Then personal biases. I'll give you a very simple example. My professor and I worked out on some problem in which reference to winter solstice in Rigveda. He claimed and published a paper that it is the oldest reference to calendars in India in Rigveda, and the time comes out to 7000 BCE. Now people in astronomical community, they said, how can it be? Now that's personal bias. How can it be? Means you give a reason how it cannot be. Okay. Similarly, on the other extreme, people say that these are crores of years old stories and you are telling this. So these are the personal things. Now, yeah. So these are the cycles. All astronomical phenomena have a periodicity. The largest cycle is that of precession. That is nearly 26,000 years. We have planetary positions with orbital periods ranging from 88 days to Saturn 29.5. So every 29.5 years, the Saturn will be found in the same group of stars. Then planetary conjunctions accordingly. The longest duration conjunction occurs about 20 years, Saturn and Jupiter. And shorter ones they come again and again and then give you the observation that you're looking for. Retrograde motion. Once every 1 to 2 years you find planets moving retrograde. You will find thousands of examples of retrograde motion over this large period of 5,000 years. Eclipses has got a series called Saros. After 3 Saros of eclipse, the eclipse repeats at the same geographical location by slightly shifting in latitude up or down. Then you have seasons. So seasonal year, is about 20 minutes shorter than the year of stars, sidereal year. So that gives rise to other things in calendar. And then moon's phases, we know, the synodic period is 29.5, and moon's nakshatra based period is 27.3 sidereal period, and day and night you already know. So the data needs to be constrained. You have to find a window over which something which is unique is occurring, and then look for these repetitive phenomena so that you don't randomly obtain dates here and there. And I find that the equinoxes and solstices, they are the best source to determine the time range. So what we have done in this, fortunately we have in Mahabharata.
This we will discuss in the calendar.
So yes, I'll just next slide will come to it. No, I'm just saying so that we focus on.
You just tell us in your presentation what the eclipses that have been mentioned.
Right. So we have these two.
मैंने पहले एक स्टेटमेंट किया था, परंपरा को असत्य मान करके भी नहीं करना है.
नहीं, we are not doing that. See,
इस पर जो है फिर हम
discussion
होगा बाद में.
And then
come to the eclipses first.
Then during we arrive at this interval 20 to 50, during which we look for eclipses. Okay, and then in those eclipses, after finding those eclipses, the year that they occurred, that gives us a specific year of occurrence, and then all other major events, they automatically follow. You count the number of days, and you get this thing. So this is it. This is your proposed methodology, eclipses. Yes, we have agreed on this.
on the first one. Why is
the date?
This is not moving actually.
Yes.
Yeah, I have given the translation on the same slide.
So what is the date of your eclipses approximate?
This one which is when they are going for exile. This comes in the 15th year, because when I give you the reasoning.
No, you just give us the dates and the eclipse. Show the date and the eclipse so that we discuss only on one issue.
Okay, I give you that in another
Otherwise
presentation.
it will become a whole big presentation.
Date.
Yeah, that is on page 381 of my published paper, which I have circulated.
1st August.
What is the date? Can you tell us the date?
The camera is hiding that thing.
Can you remove the camera from there, please? Put it in.
There was an annular solar eclipse on 1st August minus 1807.
1807. This is a 15-year means 2 years we have waited for a war.
The reasoning I give you there.
मैं एक वो भी है आपको मैं एक बता देता हूँ जब श्री कृष्ण जी मिलने आते हैं ना कुंती कहती है चतुर्दशमिमं वर्षम
full 14 years have
no not full
yes
it is the 14th year
no she says
चतुर्दशमिमं वर्षम
full 14 years have passed
14th year is running
no
चतुर्दशमिमं
you can see that flow it says full 14 years have passed and so it was the 15th
What
year
is the shloka which says full 14 years have passed?
I show you this
चतुर्दशमिमं वर्षम ये स्टार्ट होता है दिस इज द 14th year running इसका मतलब ये होता है
this is the lunar eclipse this is the pair of eclipse that you were talking I agree on that and my
What is your date of these two?
my date is
श्लोक पढ़ देता हूँ चतुर्दशमिमं वर्षं यन्ना पश्यम अरिन्दम पुत्रादिभिः परिद्यूनां द्रौपदीं सत्यवादिनी चतुर्दशमिमं वर्षं यन्ना पश्यन् अरिन्दम हे कृष्ण I have not seen now 14th year is running चतुर्दशम इदं वर्षं पुत्रादिभिः परिद्यूनां द्रौपदी और अपने पुत्रों को मैं देख नहीं पाई हूँ ये 14th year is running. He is saying 14 years are elapsed.
I have taken
That interpretation.
no I have taken translation from
यहाँ 14th वर्ष
चल रहा है
I show you this
ये हो भी नहीं सकता कि 13 साल का वनवास करके 2 साल वेट नहीं कर सकते
Bhishma told that in Virata Parva that Duryodhana doubts whether 1 year Ajnanavasa is completed. At that time, Bhishma told 5 years, every 5 years there is 2 months.
Yes, that we have.
So in that there is a question of completion of 13 years itself. Then how can you say that it is 14 years
that we are
completed?
going to discuss in the calendrical astronomy. Now we are just eclipse.
Discussing the
No, no,
eclipse.
this point I am telling all that.
so anyhow this eclipse which is mentioned is matches with an eclipse on this date what I have shown that is a annular solar eclipse and which occurs in the 15th year.
But it is not visible in India. I have seen not visible
No,
in
that's not visible in
Hastinapur.
India.
Not visible in Hastinapur.
Yes, it's visible in India.
You can just go through the
Annular
NASA solar eclipse. Just go through.
annular solar eclipse.
You can give that NASA image, no? We have to give image. Then it is very easy for us.
Image of
The eclipse.
image
On this year
it
it is visible.
that we imagine.
On the year he is proposing it is visible. That's what we are saying.
No, that not year. That 19th April 1792. That is the date, na? Eclipse date.
This is the pair of eclipse.
Huh.
Yes.
So I think
You want to see it here? I can show it here.
I agree with
Image.
It is not visible in India as per the.
I think
No, it is visible from India. Let us first say which eclipse.
exactly.
Which eclipse? This is pair now.
And this is which month we are talking about. I think that's very important. I think both Ashokji and I agree that there is an eclipse here, and here in this conversation they are talking about eclipse that is just happening right
This
in
is the
front of
list of
them.
eclipses.
So it is the Kartika month.
Giving the eclipse list, na? You tell me 1792, 19th October is the then, and 4th May.
No, 1792 It is, lunar eclipse is 5th April.
No, I'm asking solar eclipse first.
It depends, he's presenting
From the pair?
Gregorian.
This is the same.
No, from the pair of eclipse.
Gregorian.
Whatever it is.
Which eclipses?
Huh?
Pair of eclipses you're talking about?
You tell me solar eclipse, no? I have a
See, there is that 13-day interval, there is a
no
pair.
problem.
There is a pair. Now, there was another.
1792 BC.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There are only two eclipses, solar eclipses on 4th May 1792 or 29 October. This is on NASA's website.
Yes, sir. Yeah, both are actually correct. The 4th May you're talking about is in Julian calendar. What he is presenting the 90
Okay, no problem. Let's see 4th May.
Actually, one second. Just give me 1 second. I'll show you the here.
Sir, I'm not contradicting you. I'm actually supporting what you're telling.
No.
But I think what is important is what he's telling is the exact month and time when that eclipse is happening.
It is everything.
It is not like something in
This is a published paper which I circulated.
Okay. Hey, we have to have the images if you can give, that gives us.
Not only images, I have still given you the area of visibility, everything. Here it is.
Huh. See, that's, this one I wanted to
Yeah,
give.
this is, yeah.
Like you have shown that 1st August 1807. That
Oh,
it is-
as he says, there are two calendars followed, and both dates are given in the NASA publication by Julian as well as Gregorian. Gregorian is prolaptic Gregorian, extended backwards. So my dates are here, both dates are given. If you want Julian, I can give you that also.
That 1807, that Vanvasa eclipse.
Yeah, that date also I give you.
But I think what's important is we have to agree upon whether this eclipse happened and which
No.
month it happened.
Visibility in Hastinapur and Kurukshetra is important.
Okay, visibility. Yeah, visibility, it happened and which month it happened, right? I mean, we can't say that, okay, it happened in Bangladesh.
When we do the calendar, at the moment we are only talking
Same year is enough. Same year is enough because you cannot predict a war.
I mean, this is before the war, right?
Before the war.
Yeah, so that is important. Like,
Yes.
we can't say like,
No.
it happened in Margashira or somewhere after the war.
Yes, yes.
So this happened before the
Before
war.
the war.
And it is most likely during that Kartika Masa and
Yes,
the
it was.
following.
Yes.
But, so, I mean, it's not like, it's not about anything over the whole year. It is, the context is what's important.
It is about 6 months before.
Yeah. That explains the other verse before and after. Earlier we were discussing whether it's a harvest moon or whether it's lunar eclipse.
Yes.
This makes it clear that it is eclipse, not like a harvest.
After that we will see each visibility.
Yes.
Next.
And about that harvest moon and eclipse, this one actually shows lunar eclipse on September 28 on Kartik Purnima from the software.
Why is it not visible there on the screen?
They could not connect this one. So I'm using that.
Because we had given the guidelines, now you bring the images of eclipses that some
Yes,
of
yes,
us to them.
yes. And here this shows the whole trail, 20 minutes interval of how the full moon gets totally eclipsed in Kartik, in Kritika Nakshatra. So this is this additional this thing that a total eclipse occurred on Kartik Purnima just before the war. Total lunar eclipse.
I think
35th year, another after this 35th year, there is
35th year,
no solar eclipse.
35th year eclipse was there, but at 35th year no solar eclipse. There was an eclipse, but not visible in India. 36th year, because 36 years they are talking.
Okay.
Yeah, after during 36 years this is, that means on completion of 35 years, during 36 years.
What is the date? The 36th year eclipse.
Date, okay.
We have 5 minutes for Technology to go
Yes,
there,
yes,
meet
yes, yes.
after lunch for the other people to present.
Yes.
And please just, we want to go by session like topics.
Yeah, let
first,
me
then
tell you.
calendar.
Yes.
Let's not expect to at the
Yes. This one says that 14th lunation has been made 15th. So my argument is that there is no mention of eclipse. Rahu is approaching, yes, no doubt.
And during the, I examined during 11 to 17 years, annual eclipse of sun that occurred on 16th August 1808. Okay, Julian date. This time it
That occurred before Sri Krishna's demise, because he has died on either before Chaitra Shukla Pratipada, so that
no.
calendar must be.
You are asking about the when they were
36th, whatever 35th or 36th year.
Okay.
Because 36th year, his demise was on Chaitra Shukla before the Amavasya, before Chaitra Shukla.
Yeah. I was telling you about the 15 years before the war.
No, after. That is okay.
So 15 years before the war was 16th August 1808 BC.
That okay.
And
35th or 36th year.
Yeah. And
After Mahabharata, after Kurukshetra.
one total eclipse during 35th year is 11 December 1759. Okay.
1759.
Julian, 1759 Julian. This is visible during 35th year from Western India. Okay, Central India. And also what I suspect was an eclipse in the 36th year belonging to same Saros cycle. I am not giving the date here, but it is something which is not visible.
It's not visible.
Not visible. 36th year it is not visible.
With a small point, can I?
Yes.
Regarding Krishna's departure, can we have use his departure to Goloka, which of Dehant or demise also, because it's a sensitive thing for people to say.
The
Because in Mahabharata,
In the departure to Goloka.
in the Mosala Parva, in Nidhanam Vasudevasya, it's mentioned. Prior to that, Kshatriyushetpata Samprapti is there. Since they are following Magha Shukladi calendar,
No, he's saying terminology instead of saying
Instead of saying death or demise of
Nidhanam Vasudevasya.
Samskritam man.
Nidhanam.
English will say his departure to Goloka.
That's okay. What happens now when we are sitting with them, we have to use we are writing history of human beings. So
That's right. Once we see you three.
that is the party is different, but history is only human beings history. I can't write history of the world.
Can we take the break for the next session, because
My English is over.
and then we will ask the others, and so please just one small request, everybody just talk on first eclipses, after that we'll come to calendar, then it will be very clear कि आपका
After this,
eclipse
they will present the summary.
जी,
With the only
of this,
of the information of all
Yes,
about
yes.
this. Then we will
जी
proceed
जी
further
जी
planning.
एक ही वो हमारे डिप्टी तिवारी जी का सबमिशन।
देखिए यहाँ की गैदरिंग में 3 तरह के लोग हैं। एक तो वो है जो ग्रह नक्षत्रों की स्थिति पे कुछ व्याख्या करना चाहते हैं, एक वो है जो पुरातत्व से संबंधित है और उनके बिहेवियर को वो महाभारत काल से जोड़ते चले आए। तीसरे संस्कृत के विद्वान हैं जो श्लोकों का अर्थ जानते हैं। तो हमारे हिसाब से स्थिति क्लियर तब होगी जब किसी चीज को तीनों वर्ग के लोग समझ पाएंगे। तो सबसे पहले तो ये होना चाहिए कि जो संस्कृत का श्लोक है उसका सरल भाषा में और सटीक अनुवाद प्रस्तुत किया जाए, उस पर कंट्रोवर्सी खत्म हो। नंबर 2, आप ये बताइए कि कैसे साहित्य में जिन स्थितियों का वर्णन है उसको अपने सॉफ्टवेयर में किस टेक्निक से आप फिक्स करते हैं। हो सकता है उसके फिक्सिंग में कोई गड़बड़ी हो रही हो, तो एक ही इवेंट की आप लोग 25 डेट निकाल रहे हैं, तो हम लोग भी अपना ओपिनियन उसमें कुछ दे सकें। तो इससे संस्कृत वालों का भी उपयोग हो जाएगा और जो ये ज्योतिष के आधार पे आप गणना में कई वैरायटी निकाल रहे हैं, वो कैलकुलेशन में कहाँ पे गड़बड़ी हो रही है, उसका भी एक समाधान हो जाएगा, तभी हम एक निष्कर्ष पे पहुँच पाएंगे। और जिसका भी जो निष्कर्ष है उसको एक्सप्लेन करते समय कृपया आप उस पर दृढ़ता पूर्वक स्थिर न रहें, अपने को फ्लेक्सिबल बनाइए ताकि एक सही चीज या सही निर्णय निकल सके।
सबका प्रेजेंटेशन होता है,
सर, बेसिक बात ये है-
समन्वय कहना कि हर एक काम बताएंगे कि और फिजिकली मैं सिमुलेट करके भी दिखा दूंगा कि सोलर इक्लिप्स कौन कौन से डेट में है और पैटर्न का जो स्ट्रिंजेंट क्या पैरामीटर्स होना चाहिए वो भी हम फिक्स करेंगे।
पहले तो सर आपको
और ये ना कि हम सामान्य ज्ञान के लिए भी नहीं
इसी विषय में मैं एज ए लेमैन यानी बड़े आश्चर्य की बात है, वी आर आर्कियोलॉजिस्ट। हम लोग अगर 200 साल पुरानी भी कोई चीज होती है तो हम कहते हैं 17वीं 18वीं शताब्दी, तो हमारे लिए 100 साल जो है इधर वो सामान्य है। और इवन साइंटिफिक डेट में भी जाते हैं C14 या कोई सी भी डेट, तो उसमें होता है 950 प्लस माइनस 150, 56, 40, 80। तो हम लोग जो विधाएं यूज कर रहे हैं उसमें एब्सोल्यूट डेट सिर्फ अगर अभिलेख में लिखी है तब सिर्फ डेट और ईयर हम कहते हैं ये जो आंखों से दिख रहा है जिसे कोई भी पढ़ सकता है। अब अगर सबसे पहले यानी आज तो हम टॉकिंग एज ए लेमैन आर्कियोलॉजिस्ट के लिए कि महाभारत कौन सी सहस्त्राब्दी में या कौन सी शताब्दी में हुआ था, पहला तो वही प्रश्न है। यानी हम 8 अगस्त या 15 सितंबर वो तो सोच ही नहीं सकते। तो पहले तो अगर हम यही कह लें कि 3100 साल पहले हुआ, 3500 साल पहले हुआ, आई थिंक भारत की इतिहास में एक दिशा मिल जाएगी, एक बिंदु आ जाएगा। तो हम अगस्त, जुलाई, नवंबर पे न जाके पहले तो हम अगर यानी 100 साल भी निश्चित कर लें तो इसका जो है बहुत बड़ा योगदान होगा। तो वी शुडंट गो ऑन दैट निटिग्रिटीज, है ना। दूसरी चीज है कि हम क्या मान रहे हैं। महाभारत लिखने वाला कहाँ बैठ के देख रहा है? वो कुरुक्षेत्र में बैठा है, वो हस्तिनापुर में बैठा है, यानी बात ये आई ना, यहाँ दिख रहा है या नहीं दिख रहा है, नहीं भी दिख रहा है, कहीं भी हो रहा है, देन इटसेल्फ इट मेक्स ए सेंस। तो हम जो है अगर इतने उस यानी माइक्रो लेवल पे जाके उसको सुलझाने की कोशिश करेंगे तो शायद कभी नहीं सुलझ पाएगा। सो लेट अस स्टार्ट फ्रॉम ए ब्रॉडर एंड स्लोली उसको हम नैरो डाउन करते जाएं तो हम कहीं पहुंच जाएंगे। So we should go with that one.
Fantastic, and we have been told to quickly go to the lunch room and come back.
एक रिक्वेस्ट है कि आज ये प्रेजेंटेशन होने के बाद कल नेक्स्ट फर्स्ट हाफ में अगर आर्कियोलॉजिकल और ये जो आज बना है उसमें डिस्कशन हो जाए, क्योंकि सेकंड हाफ में ज्यादातर लोग इस साइड से नहीं प्रेजेंट
नहीं, हम लोग फर्स्ट हाफ में आर्कियोलॉजी वालों को पूरा फोकस रहेगा और आज हम लोग 7 बजे तक पूरी इसकी समरी आपको दे देंगे, है ना, ताकि आप भी उसके हिसाब से प्रिपेयर।
So again requesting Dr. B.R. Mani to state to Mr. Himari sir.
Mr. Himari, correct. You are correct. You are correct, sir. Thank you so much. Always do.
Request Vedvi Arya sir to felicitate Dr. Jayashree Sarnathan ji. He is here.
He wants black or white? Blue or black, white?
सब इसको इधर ही है।
Now request again Dr. B.R. Mani to felicitate Dr. Ved Prakash Mishra ji, an eminent Sanskrit scholar from Bharatiya Shiksha Board.
फोकस नहीं कर रहा अभी क्या में सब लिखा
And again request Ved Arya sir to felicitate eminent expert of the inscription Dr. M.L. Raja sir. I will request Dr. Neera Mishra ma'am to felicitate Dr. Yogendra Kumar. Yogendra Kumar is an assistant professor in the Sanskrit National Postgraduate College,
उन्होंने समझ लिया था बहन को ही से करवाएंगे।
सर बैक आ रही है सर, थोड़ा सा टर्न कर जाइए।
And again request Dr. B.R. Mani to felicitate Professor Vijendra Kumar Sharma sir. He is an Acharya in the Department of Jyotish, Central Sanskrit University.
Thank you.
Request Dr. Vedvir Arya sir to felicitate Dr. Yogesh Pandey. He is from Central Sanskrit University, Vedvyas Temple, Himachal Pradesh. He has come from long.
सर बैठ जाइए एक बार. सर इधर फेस करिए सर प्लीज. थैंक यू.
Request Dr. B. Ramani to felicitate Sri Krishna Kumar Ramurthy ji. He is an expert on ancient culture and civilization.
Just one second, एक रह गया ना, योगेश जी रह गए.
Yogesh Pandey ji.
योगेश पांडे.
Krishna Kumar Ramurthy ji. He is from USA. He has come.
इधर सर इधर देख के.
To attend for this program.
And he works for Tesla.
Yeah. Yes, that we know. So I request Dr. B. Ramani to felicitate him.
We can't give him ladies.
चलेगा गिफ्ट ले.
नहीं, he's just like, no, it's there. He's just counting the garbad.
And request.
His name Krishna Kumar.
इधर से इधर देखिए.
Request again Vedvir Arya sir to
थैंक यू.
felicitate the most eminent scholar from UK, Dr. Manish Pandit sir. So that's all, and rest we will felicitate in the tomorrow's morning program. So now hand over the mic to Neera Mishra ma'am.
हाँ जी.
Stand.